Okay, so good afternoon. As I've said a while back doon sa ating um, introduction doon sa ating kanina sa Google Meet. Okay? Itong session na ito is for us to equip with essential skills when it comes to social cognition, emotional intelligence, and people skills. Kasi all of these skills are the foundational skills for building meaningful relationships and also enhancing communication effectiveness. Okay? Or enhancing communication and effectiveness when it comes to co-workers or colleagues in it. And aside from that, these skills are foundational skills when it comes to achieving personal and professional success. So sabi nga nila, we cannot um, achieve success or mahihirapan tayong ma-achieve ang isang success when it comes to pag hindi tayo marunong makipagkapwa-tao or if we don't have wala tayong strong relationship with our coworkers, with our colleagues, and so on and so forth. Okay? So, we need to develop these competencies, especially us as an individual, for us to navigate our social interactions more confidently. Okay? And aside from managing our interactions, um, we can also manage our emotions effectively. And as well as we can also contribute positively to our environment, especially in our working environment. Okay. The first skills na ini-expect from a professional teacher or from a professional uh, in the field is first is yung tinatawag nating social cognition. So pag sinabi nating social cognition, it is the process by which individuals perceive, interpret, um, uh, understand social information. Okay, so yun nga sabi ko nga kanina, when it comes to social cognition, ito yung kailangan nating i-practice. Una-una is perception. Okay? Ano ba yung, di ba sa UTS natin, sa Understanding the Self, ano yung unang-unang tinitignan natin sa ating mga sarili? Yung perception natin sa ating mga sarili. Okay, how do we interpret ourselves? For us para ma-interpret tayo ng maayos ng ibang tao, yung perception ng ibang tao sa atin is maayos din. So, kailangan ayusin na muna natin yung sarili natin. And also, for us to be able to understand the different social informations. Okay? Yung mga social behaviors, different social behaviors, o bakit ganun yung behavior ng katrabaho nating isa. Okay? Anong pinagdadaanan niya sa buhay? Ganun. And when it comes to social cognition, it involves the ability to recognize and respond to the emotions, intentions, and behaviors of others also. So, once kasi na you are able to perceive what others perception, or if you are able to interpret yung mga gustong sabihin ng ibang tao through their body languages or through their expressions, then this time you have also the ability, or you can respond to their emotions. You can also respond and recognize their intentions, and specifically you can also able to respond and recognize their behavior. So sa social cognition, we have three different key components. And number one na key component dito sa social cognition is perception of social cues. So when we say perception of social cues, dito pumapasok yung tinatawag nating verbal and non-verbal. So sabi ko nga kanina, based doon sa mga napag-aralan natin nung nakaraan, we have different types of communication. We have the verbal, non-verbal, and written communication. Okay? So, dito sa perception of social cues. So, from the term social cues, okay? These are the verbal and non-verbal signals. So, kung mapapansin nyo kanina, tinatanong ko kayo kung ano-ano yung mga iba't ibang klase ng mga non-verbal signals. And among you answer, or some of you answers, facial expressions, body gestures, body language, and so on and so forth. And yes, you are correct that these are all non-verbal signals. Sabi ko nga kanina, merong mga signs and symbols na pwedeng it's alright for some culture, pero sa ibang culture, hindi pala katanggap-tanggap or it is not accepted. Okay, so we need to perceive social cues or um, isa sa mga key component ng social cognition is the perception of different social cues. Next is theory mind. So when we say theory mind, we are able to understand the others. Okay? Specifically doon sa kanilang mga thoughts. Okay, sa kanilang mga paniniwala, beliefs, and also their perspective. So, sabi nga natin, 'di ba, madalas nating mabanggit, um, hindi po pare-parehas ang tao, 'di ba? Or hindi kami magkakaparehas ng opinion. And that is our theory mind. So, since hindi tayo, meron tayong differences when it comes to our beliefs, sa mga thoughts natin, sa ating perceptions, through social cognition, okay, we are able to understand others. Okay? Ano yung um ano yung nasa isip nila? What are their beliefs? Uh, ano ba yung um nakakabuti para sa kanila? And also their perspective. And then next na key concept or key components sa social cognition is yung attribution. So when we say attribution, we are making inferences about the causes of others' behavior. Sabi ko nga kanina dito sa perception or dito sa tinatawag nating interpretation of behavior, di ba? Sa psychology kasi meron tayong tinatawag na um, uh, inferences. Okay? Okay, so um, we are ano ba tawag? Evaluating other person based doon sa kanilang behavior. Okay? Ah, bakit ba ganito yung behavior ng isang tao? Kasi ito yung sanhi. Okay? Maaaring there are some past traumas that causes that other person uh, act or actions or behaviors. Okay? Sabi nga nila, it is better to, ano na yun tawag doon? You are able to make or destroy a person. Okay, so, ano yung mga inferences? Ano-ano yung mga causes kung bakit ganun yung behavior niya? And yun yung isa sa mga key concept or attribution or making inferences about the causes of others' behavior is one of the key components in social cognition. Okay. Ano-ano ba yung importance o bakit ba mahalaga ang social cognition when it comes to teaching profession? Unang-una is understanding students. Okay, so kailangan natin ng social cognition. So we need the key components or kailangan nating taglayin yung tatlong key components ng social cognition na yon, ng social cognition, including how we interpret or how we understand the beliefs and behaviors of other. Kasi, ang makakasalamuha natin later on is mga students. So, isa sa mga importante, bakit importante ang social cognition sa teaching profession is that we need to understand students. So, maraming iba't ibang klase ng bata. Hindi sila pare-parehas ng behavior, hindi sila pare-parehas ng pamilyang pinagmulan, at hindi sila pare-parehas kung paano sila pinalaki ng kanilang mga magulang. So, we, teachers, okay, um, we use social cognition to gauge students' emotional states. Okay, so, gaano ba kataas yung emotion ng isang bata? Okay, gaano ba ka-low yung pagtingin niya sa kanyang mga sarili? Okay, and if we gauge their emotional states, anong susunod? Of course, we need to motivate them. Okay? And, paano natin sila i-motivate? First, hindi natin mamomotivate ang isang tao kapag hindi natin naiintindihan yung kanilang pinagdadaanan. Okay, so, um, we need to help our students in tailoring instruction para ma-meet nila yung needs nila diversely. Okay, so we need to understand. Okay, social cognition is important when it comes to understanding students. Next, classroom management. Okay, so pag sinabi natin classroom management, um, social cognition is very much effective when it comes to interpretation of different social cues, wherein the teacher allows to preempt and manage potential disruptions, maintaining a positive learning environment. So, isa sa mga trabaho ng isang teacher is to manage the class. Okay? So, if there is a disruption inside the class, anong ginagawa ni teacher? Di ba, aayusin niya. Ano sinabi ni teacher kapag maingay yun? Tumahimik! Ganon, di ba? So, yun yung, di ba, pag tanong dito, tayo. Di ba? Yung mga traditional teachers, ganon. Oh, pungot-pungutong kayo, di ka pala agtalnam. Ganon, no? Kaya may mga lumilipad ng eraser. And that is, during our years, isa yun sa mga process when it comes to classroom management. Pero ngayon, 'di ba, kailangan nating maging mahaba yung patience, okay? Kahit mataas na yung emotions natin, hindi na natin kayang i-manage yung classroom sa dami-dami ng mga students natin at sabay-sabay pa silang sinasaway, at least we need to maintain a positive learning environment. So, yun yung tatandaan niyo lagi, future teachers. Wag natin sasaktan, wag nating sisigawan yung mga bata ngayon kasi it magiging at stake yung pinaghirapan natin ng ilang taon. Okay? So, pag sumobra kasi tayo ng pagdidisiplina, lalong-lalo na kapag mayroong mga parents na super, anong tawag doon? Um, uh, Konsentidora, mga ganon. Ayun. So, let's maintain a positive learning environment when it comes to classroom management. Okay. So, building relationships. Okay. Isa sa mga important factor when it comes to social cognition in the teaching profession is building relationship. Okay? So, hindi building relationship to the coworkers or building relationship to the students or other types of relationship from teacher to student. So, other than the relationship na pwede nating i-build is that yung student-teacher relationship. And wala nang ibang pwedeng relationship na pwedeng mabuild doon. Lalong-lalo na kapag kayo ay nagtuturo ng high school, ha? Lalong-lalo na sa mga girls. Okay? Bawal we need to build relationship. So, ano yung kailangan na relationship na i-build natin when it comes to social cognition? First is recognizing and responding to students' social and emotional needs. Okay? So, we need to respond din naman or we need to recognize yung emotional needs and social needs ng mga bata. Okay, paano ma'am? Okay, hindi mawawala yung factor or yung mga scenario na kung saan itong bata, may isang bata na palaging absent o kaya palaging late. Kung hindi late, absent. Kung hindi absent, late naman. Okay, ngayon, for us to be able to understand them, we need to respond doon sa emotional needs or doon sa social needs ng bata. Anong kailangan natin gawin? Hindi natin siya dapat pagalitan. Okay? We need to build relationship with that child or with that student. Paano? Okay? Kausapin natin siya, anak. Late ka na naman. Bakit ka late? Anong mga reason mo bakit ka late? 'Di ba? So, ah, ayos ka lang ba? Kumain ka na ba? Mga gano'n, mga simpleng bagay. Pero sa college mata ka, nabungag ka, bungag latan ah. Hindi. Sa college kasi, makiusap na maayos. Okay? Or, hindi yung, ano bang pwedeng, hindi yung, anong pwedeng gawin para tumaas yung grade? Mga ganun ba? Siyempre, pag tinanungan mo ng ganun si teacher, or si instructor, si professor, ag high blood ang sigod. Pwede bang taasan yung grade? Kasi scholar po ako. Gano'n. Hindi. Okay? So, since we are katay may pangangailangan, okay, we need to approach them um with na may pagpapakumbaba. Okay? Or yeah, may pagpapakumbaba para ma-reach din natin yung kalooban ni teacher. Pero pagdating sa basic school, okay, we need, kailangan natin i-foster yung kanilang social and emotional needs as a bata. Okay? We need, ipakita natin na kailangan natin mabuild kasi yung trust and rapport. Okay? So, paano natin mabibuild yung trust and rapport? We need to be supportive. Okay? So, kailangan magkaroon tayo ng supportive classroom atmosphere. Okay? Hindi yung laging galit. Diba? Okay. Ah, pag sinabi naman ngayon nating social skills, okay, so iba yung social cognition doon sa social skills. Pag sinabi nating social skills, these are the abilities that is necessary to interact and communicate effectively with others. Okay, so kanina we have three components of social cognition. Ngayon naman, we have four behavior that encompass social skills. Okay, and number one is communication skills. Okay, so when we say communication skills, okay, dito papasok pa rin dito yung verbal and non-verbal communication. So hindi lang mostly the sender yung nakikinabang dito. We need active listening here when it comes to social skills. Okay, so sabi ko nga, hindi lang si sender um, yung source of information, but we also need to have an active listening. So, dapat, kung tayo yung receiver or recipient nung information or nung message, kailangan nating makinig attentively. Or we need to have, at least we should incline ourselves in active listening if we are the receiver for us to have a clear articulation or para magkaroon din naman tayo ng maayos-ayos na feedback later on or we can articulate we have clear articulation later. Okay, isa yan sa mga sa tinataglay ng pagkakaroon ng isang social skills. Another is empathy. So when we say empathy, it is the understanding and sharing the feelings of others. So, when we say empathy, ano ba sa Tagalog nun? When we say empathy, we understand others' perspective, others' feeling, okay? We share, or we are able to share their feelings also. Hindi lang yung na-understand mo tapos mamaya nagbibigay ka na ng feedback. Okay? That's not empathy. Okay? When we say empathy kasi kapag nag-share yung feelings ng isang tao, nakaka-relate ka sa kanila, na-understand mo yung sitwasyon nila. Okay? And then, kailangan doon, when we say empathy, kailangan natin na maging isang active listener. Okay? Ayan. And then, conflict resolution. Okay? When we say conflict resolution, we are able to manage and resolve conflicts constructively. Okay. And pag sinabi naman natin collaboration, we work effectively with others towards common goals. Lalo-lalo na kapag kayo ay nasa team teaching, mag-collaborate kayo, okay? For you to be able to work effectively and para ma-reach ninyo yung goals na target. Okay. Aside from, ayan, ano may yung importance of social skills in the teaching profession? Bakit ba kailangan importante? Kung kanina importante ang social cognition, syempre importante din naman ang social skills. So, bakit ba natin kailangan? Or bakit ba importante ang pagkakaroon ng social skills sa teaching profession and all other profession? First is, for us to be able to have an effective communication. Okay, so ngayon kasi ang labanan ngayon is strong social skills that enables teachers to convey information clearly. Okay, so yun yung yun yung isa sa mga edge ng isang um, magaling na teacher. He or she is able to communicate information or convey information clearly and strongly. Okay? And aside from giving information or conveying information, we can also give constructive feedback. Okay, and um, we can also engage in meaningful dialogue with students, parents, and colleagues, di ba? Kasi kailangan na kailangan natin ng pagkakaroon ng communication, effective communication, lalong-lalo sa students, sa mga parents, pag during the PTA meeting, okay? And sa mga colleagues natin, okay? Sa mga kasama sa trabaho. We need to have a clear, or we need to convey clear information, and we need to give clear and constructive feedback. Next, student engagement. So, pagdating sa student engagement, okay, syempre, student pa rin yung ka-engage ni teacher. Teacher with good social skills can create an inclusive and engaging classroom environment na kung saan yung mga student ay mafe-feel nilang they are valued and motivated to participate. 'Di ba, some teachers lalong-lalo na sa KASA o kaya sa mga preschool, sa grade 1, mga ganon. Sila yung teacher na madalas merong bit-bit na candy o mga laruan. Okay? And um uh dun sa mga bagay na yon, okay, the students or their pupils are motivated in participating with their class discussion. And at the same time, kapag yung bata kasi feeling nila is valued sila, kinikare sila ni teacher, love na love sila ng mga bata. Okay, so later on, kapag next year, kayo ay nasa third year na, kayo na yung mga sasabak sa internship. Okay, mararamdaman nyo yan. Okay, lalong-lalo na sa mga BE-Ed majors. Next, role modeling. So, pag sinabi nating role modeling, sabi nga nila, the teacher serves as a role models. Okay? So, role model saan? Sa pagrampa? Hindi. So, the teacher serves as a role models for appropriate social interactions. Ano-ano yung mga social interaction na yun? Demonstrating effective communication is one. Okay? Yung empathy is also one. Okay. And isa sa mga dapat taglayin ng batang lumaki ngayong 21st century, okay, ay yung pagkakaroon or yung development of problem-solving skills for students. Okay, so yan, role model. Okay? And then, collaboration. So, pag sinabi natin collaboration, teaching often requires collaboration with colleagues, parents, and also the community. So, hindi lang hanggang parents yung relationship ni teacher, hindi lang hanggang hindi hanggang students, hindi lang hanggang sa co-workers and friends, but it is extended into the entire community. Okay, so, kapag si teacher, okay, or kayo, later on, is madalas na nakikipag-collaborate sa colleagues, sa parents, sa students, sa community, you will now develop strong social skills, facilitate with productive partnerships that could also enhance student learning and well-being. So that is why meron tayong padjak, 'di ba, dito sa Pan Pacific University. Okay? We hindi lang teachers, hindi lang kami nag-i-engage or nakikipag-collaborate sa mga workmates namin or sa mga co-teachers namin. We also collaborating with the parents and including the community through Pajak, 'di ba? Pati mga students, kayo din naman, 'di ba? Nakikipag-participate din naman kayo through Pajak. And that is why we are collaborating with the community. Okay? And through collaborating sa community, we are able to build productive partnership. And syempre, 'di ba, sa paglabas natin through Pachak, nai-enhance din yung learnings ninyo, hindi lang sa academic field, but also sa social skills ninyo or in building your skills. Next, understanding students' perspectives and social cues. Sa classroom setting kasi, social cognition and social skills are crucial when it comes to in fostering a positive and productive learning environment. So, these are examples of uh, uh, social cues na dapat nating taglayin when it comes to understanding so students' perspective. Number one is active listening. So, pag sinabi kasi nating active listening, paano ba natin maiintindihan yung mga students' perspective and their social cues or their body language and behavior and so on and so forth. Okay, so active listening, dapat si teacher, he or she carefully listens dun sa students' concerns or ideas. Okay? And the teacher also show empathy and understanding by means of sa simpleng tango lang or sa simpleng smile. Pwede na yun. And also in responding appropriately. That is active listening. Okay? Next one is recognizing emotions. Okay. So, si teacher dapat nare-recognize niya um, yung student na uh, upset or nagagalit, yung student na natatakot, okay? O kaya nahihiya sa loob ng klase, nahihiyang mag-recite, okay? We need to recognize those emotions. Kasi, as a teacher, we need to build a good rapport and trust. Build trust and rapport. Um, and also, doon din sa students' perception na kanilang sarili. So, you are going to offer a conversation, whether it is uh, conversation na privately. Okay? Para ano, para um, masupport natin sila. Okay? And, bakit ka, yun nga, may mga students na laging late, bakit tanungin mo siya privately? Or magkaroon kayo ng private conversation para intindihin kung anong issue ng student sa kanyang buhay. Bakit ganun yung kanyang behavior? Or bakit palagi kang nangaaway? Bakit ang gulong-gulo mo sa klase? Okay? Malay mo talaga sa bahay nila, behave siya kasi hindi niya magawa yung mga bagay na gusto niyang gawin sa loob ng kanilang bahay. Kaya, nagiging, um, uh, ano nga ipapas na lang ng visit na kinitatang na or yung takot niya, galit niya sa kanyang tatay kung lagi siyang sinasaktan sa loob ng bahay ng kanyang lasinggerong tatay, mga ganun. May mga ganun instances kasi. So, we need to recognize their emotions. Next one is adapting teaching methods. Okay, so there are different ways of or teaching strategies. Marami tayong mga teaching strategies, teaching method na pwedeng ma-adapt. Okay, so tayo as a teacher, we need to adjust doon sa teaching style based doon sa cultural backgrounds and learning preferences ng students. Okay? Um, And we need to ensure also the inclusivity and respect for diversity. Lalong-lalo na ngayon, di ba? Sa loob ng classroom, hindi naman lahat puro Ilocano. Meron dyan mga transferees na lumaki sa ibang mga lugar na hindi nakakaintindi ng Ilocano. Or minsan, hindi sila marunong magtagalog. Or minsan, nahihiya sila kasi due to their cultural background. Okay? Or minsan, um, feeling nila hindi sila nire-respeto due to diversity. Okay, so we need to adapt teaching methods. Okay, so para ma-meet natin yung learning preferences ng mga students na meron tayo. Okay, effective communication and relationship building. Okay, so paano naman tayo magkakaroon ng effective communication? And how can we build a relationship? Una-una is to have a clear instructions. So, for us to be able to have an effective communication, we need to, or a teacher should give clear, concise, brief instruction, and checks, or always checking for understanding. Okay? So, minsan, si teacher, okay, may mga teacher kasi na nagbibigay ng or nagbibigay ng feedback or nagche-check for understanding using both verbal and non-verbal cues. Okay? O, para minsan para to make sure or to ensure that the students are following or nakakasunod ba yung mga bata. Ano-ano yung ibang klase ng ng verbal at saka non-verbal? 'Di ba? Some students or some teacher nabibigyan ng mga signs, okay? Ano 'yun? Crystal, clear, Joby. Ano pa ba? Chicken nuggets, so may mga ano sila, may mga cues or gumagamit sila ng cues. Okay? O kaya, thumbs up kapag non-verbal cue, yung mga signs, okay? Kung lalabas na iihi, merong mga hand signals na ginagamit. That is non-verbal or some teacher using both verbal and non-verbal cues to ensure students that they are following. Okay. Next is positive feedback. Pag sinabi natin positive feedback, a teacher provides constructive feedback that highlights students' strengths and areas of improvement and also encouraging growth and confidence. Okay. Um, um, yeah. Lalo-lalo kapag may mga student kasi na sobrang mahiyain. Okay. Yung kahit na i-push ni teacher para mag-recite, hindi niya maibuka yung kanyang bibig. Pero pagdating naman ng written exam or mga written quizzes, nag-excel naman yung bata. Okay, ang kailangan lang is we need to encourage, okay? And we need to establish his or her confidence para makapag-provide tayo ng positive at saka constructive feedback. So, kailangan nating i-highlights yung strengths and kung ano yung area na pwede pa nating i-improve. And also, we need to encourage our student for them to be able to establish their confidence. Okay? Through giving positive and constructive feedback. Next, building trust. Okay, so paano naman na tayo makakapag-build ng trust sa loob ng klase natin, sa classroom as a future professional teacher? Okay, so when we say building trust, okay, this is when a teacher creates a safe classroom environment. Okay, so pag sinabi nating safe classroom environment, it is free from any harm, free from any types of bullying, na kung saan the students feel that they are comfortable sharing their thoughts, okay? They are comfortable sharing or asking questions without fear or judgment. Okay, so pag ganun, yung klase ng classroom environment mo, then you are able to build trust from your students. Okay, how do we collaborate? Okay, or paano tayo magkakaroon ng collaborative problem solving? Okay. First is to have a group work. So, pag sinabi natin group work, paano ba tayo magkakaroon ng group work? Kagaya nung ginawa ko kanina sa inyo, you have your activity later on and it needs uh, na group po kayo via Canvas. So, may ginamit ako ang application sa Canvas. Si Canvas mismo ang nag-group sa inyo. So, or the teacher can assign group projects that require students to work together. So, hindi ibig sabihin na nag-group kayo at may leader kayo, si leader na yung gagawa or si leader na yung gagawa ng lahat. Hindi. O, ikaw leader, karapatan ay ikaw yung may responsibilidad dyan. Okay? Hindi. Okay? Pag sinabi natin group work, all the group members are encouraged to share their ideas. Okay? And, itong si leader, hindi siya yung papaka-leader na ako lang yung masusunod. Hindi ganon. So, si leader, he or she will delegate tasks. And, kung ano yung maibibigay sa iyo na task, you should support the, or do the task and support one another. So, that is group work. Okay? And we are working together, okay, or students required to work together, and it is a must to share their ideas, hindi yung iisa lang yung gumagawa. Okay, tapos yung the rest pabuhat na o pabigat na. Okay, next is conflict resolution. So, pag sinabi natin conflict resolution, a teacher mediates when conflict arise. Okay, so hindi naman maiiwasan lalo na sa mga bata, no? Sa mga sa basic school, sa basic school, sa mga grade kinder hanggang grade 3, grade 4, grade 5, grade 6, hindi naman maiiwasan yung pagkakaroon ng conflicts between students. Okay? So, so pag nagkaganoon yung sitwasyon na kung saan may mga conflicts between groups, okay, or between individuals, the teacher should mediate. Okay, so when we say mediate, pumagitan. O kaya, when we say mediator, in law kasi, mediator, the teacher will listen to both sides. And then, magpo-provide siya ng um, uh, mga pwedeng gawin para ma-resolve yung conflict. Okay, so we are going to um, understand each other's perspective naman when it comes to conflict resolution. Okay, and dapat um, yung settlement is mutually agreeable, or yung solution ay dapat both party is nag-a-agree, and they yun, agreeable. Okay? The solutions are mutually agreeable. Class discussion. Okay, so pag sinabi natin class discussion, yan, just like what we are doing, the teacher will facilitate the discussion for a certain topic and encourage the students to listen and to later on, the student will share their different viewpoints. Okay? Paano mai-share ni student yung kanyang viewpoint? By asking questions and collaboratively participating in building knowledge. Okay? So these are examples. So these three are these examples, okay, demonstrate how social cognition and social skills can be effectively integrated into classroom activities by means of enhancing the learning experience for all students. So eto kasi dito sa collaborative problem solving, we can enhance this type of learning through the experiences of our students. Hindi lang doon sa more on knowledge, but we develop also their skills. Yeah. Emotional intelligence is isa rin sa mga, aside from social skills and cognitive skills, isa din sa mga dapat tataglayin ng isang future teacher or a professional teacher or any other professional in the field is yung i-establish natin yung ating emotional intelligence or yung tinatawag nating EI. Okay? So, ano ba tong emotional intelligence? Okay? This is the ability to understand, use, and manage your own emotions in positive ways to relieve stress, communicate effectively, empathize with others, overcome challenges, and diffuse conflict. It is crucial for personal and professional success, especially in roles that involve interactions with others such as teaching. Okay, so kahit saan namang klase ng field, andyan si stress. Okay, andyan si pressure. Okay? Ngayon, um, when we say emotional intelligence, okay, this is how we are going to manage our own emotion in the positive way. Okay? Paano natin marirelieve yung stress na bumabalot sa atin? Diba? In a positive way. Okay? Or yung tipong galit ka na gusto mo nang manakit, paano ka makikipag-usap effectively in a positive way. Ayan. So, kung ganun ka, kung ganun ka daw, yung galit ka na gusto mo nang manakit, tapos, nakaka-communicate ka pa effectively, plastic yun, chares. Galit ka na sa tao, plastic yun. Hindi. Meaning is, mataas yung emotional intelligence mo. Okay, wherein, you can manage your emotions, your angers, your sadness, okay, in a positive way. Okay, that is emotional intelligence. Tandaan nyo, we need to, kailangan natin itong taglayin to become or as a future professional teacher or for other professional in the other fields. Okay, so there are different components of emotional intelligence. So we have here self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, social skills, and empathy. Okay, so ito ay kay Cole. Okay, so there are different types of components ng emotional intelligence. So, let's talk about self-awareness first. Pag sinabi kasi natin self-awareness, it is the ability to recognize and understand your own emotions, strengths, weaknesses, values, and motives. Okay? So, meaning it involves it involves how your emotions affect your thoughts and behavior. That is it involves your conscious mind. Kung paano mo i-handle yung iyong emotions, okay? Kung paano makakaapekto yung emotions mo sa iyong mga behavior, okay? Mga ganong bagay. Yan. So, sa self-awareness, we have different key aspects when it comes to self-awareness. Okay? That is to recognize personal emotions and their impact. Okay, so kailangan mong i-embrace yung mga personal na emosyon mo at kailangan mong i-understand sa sarili mo kung ano-ano yung magiging impact ng mga emosyon na yun. Okay? Sa sarili mo and also to others. Okay? Pangalawang key concept ng self-awareness is to understand how feelings influence actions and decisions. So, kung alam mong short-tempered ka, okay, um, dapat mong maintindihan na yung pagiging short-tempered mo is kayang impluensyahan yung actions at saka decisions mo. Okay? That is self-awareness. You need to understand your feelings, or how your feelings, how your emotion can influence your actions and decision. Okay, and then maintain an honest assessment of strengths and limitation. Okay, that is for self-awareness. And lastly, having a sense of self-worth and confidence. Okay, wag mong ibaba yung self-worth mo para tanggapin ng iba. Okay? So, yun, self-awareness. And isa yan sa mga core component ng emotional intelligence. You need to have a sense of self-worth and also a sense of confidence within yourself. Next na meron tayo is self-regulation. So, pag sinabi natin self-regulation, ito naman yung ability ng isang tao to manage and control yung kanilang emotions, yung kanilang impulses, yung kanilang behavior in different situations. Wherein, self-regulation involves being able to stay calm and composed even under stress. Ito yung best example na yung galit na siya, gusto na niyang manakit, gusto niya nang sigawan lahat ng taong makakasalubong niya. Pero, he or she able to stay calm and composed. Okay, so nami-maintain niya yung kanyang composure at yung kanyang calmness despite of the emotions, despite of the impulses na nai-encounter niya na in his or her work. Okay? So, paano naman natin mamamanage itong ating self-regulation? Unang-una, we can manage emotional reactions we need to manage our emotional reactions for us to align with our desire out or doon sa desired outcomes na gusto natin. Okay, so we need to manage. Kung gusto natin na low-key lang tayo sa maghapon, okay, kailangan nating i-align yung mga emotional reactions natin doon sa gusto nating makamit at the end of the day. So, kung gusto mong low-key ka lang sa maghapon, yung stress-free, mga ganun, kailangan yung emotions natin, makontrol natin para maging align doon sa outcome natin. Okay? Or para maging chill-chill lang tayo for the whole day. Ganon. So, kailangan nating i-manage yung ating mga emotional reactions. Okay. Controlling impulsive feelings and behavior is also one when it comes to self-regulation. Okay, so kinokontrol natin yung, di ba, we have some in instance we have impulses na kung saan kung kailan galit na tayo, marami tayong nasasabing bagay na hindi naman natin gustong sabihin kapag tayo ay kalmado, di ba? So, when it comes to self-regulation, we need to control also our impulsiveness. Okay, yung mga impulse feelings and also a behavior, we need to control also that. Okay, and we should also stay focused. Kailangan nakafocus pa rin tayo and calm under pressure. So, kahit anong klase na ng pagpitpit sa atin or kahit anong klaseng piga na higpit ng piga, okay, or pressure na nararamdaman natin, if mataas yung ating self-regulation, we can always stay focused kahit na anong klase ng pressure pa yung maramdaman natin. And kapag nakamit natin yon, we are being adaptable to change. Sabi nga nila, ang isa sa pinakamasakit na experience na pwedeng ma-experience ng isang tao is yung changes or change. Okay, so um, we need to be adaptable in every changes we may encounter in our personal growth or in our professional growth. Okay? And pagdating sa self-regulation, demonstrating our personal accountability is also one. So we need to be accountable in our personal emotions and behavior. Next is motivation. So, dito sa motivation, ito yung context of emotional intelligence which refer to the inner drive. Okay, so ano yung mga um, pwedeng makapag-pursue ng or makapag-push para sa atin um, to para magkaroon ng ng reason. Okay, when we say motivation kasi is it's either internal or extrinsic rewards. Okay? Ayan. So, ano-ano yung mga bagay na pwedeng makapag-motivate sa atin? Um, yun ba ay yung kapag namo-motivate ba tayo kapag mataas yung sahod? Ayan. Yung nagiging passionate ba tayo kapag on time yung sahod? Ganon. Um, um, namo-motivate ba tayo kapag um, maayos kausap yung mga kasama natin sa trabaho? At nami-maintain nyo ba yung professional goals na ina-achieve ninyo or sama-sama ba kayong um, tumatrabaho doon sa goals and objective? Okay? And so on and so forth. That is motivation. Yan. Ito yung mga driving factors para ma-improve yung ating ma-improve natin yung sarili natin. Okay? Ma-maintain natin yung pagkakaroon ng positive attitude. And so on and so forth. Pagdating naman sa empathy, okay, when we say empathy, it is the ability to understand and share the feelings of others. Di ba nga, yun yung sabi ko kanina. At also, it involves being able to put yourself in someone else's shoes and understand their perspective. Sabi nga, hindi mo maiintindihan ang isang bagay o ang isang tao kung hindi mo pa nararanasan yung naranasan niya. And that is, if you are able to put yourself in someone else's shoes and understand their perspective, then that is the time na you are empathic or you are showing your empathy towards others. Okay? You are recognizing, okay? You are recognizing and naintindihan mo yung kanilang emotions. Okay? You are attentive, hindi lang sa verbal communication but also doon sa non-verbal cues at body languages na meron sila, including their facial expressions. Okay? And you show compassion and understanding towards others' feeling. And you are also able to anticipate and meet the needs of others. And that is being empathy. That it is empathy. Okay? Pagdating naman sa social skills, sabi ko nga kanina, it refers to the ability to interact well with other people. You 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 are able to build relationship and so on and so forth. Okay, so dito, you can communicate clearly and effectively. You are able to build and maintain healthy relationship. You are able to influence and inspire others and also manage conflict and negotiate effectively. Okay? Isa yan sa mga, and that is social skills. Pagkakaroon ng social skills. Okay? So, these components are um, in line with each other. So, emotional intelligence is essential for building strong relationships, navigating social complexities, and making informed decisions. So, the components of intelligence or emotional intelligence, okay, are all interrelated and contributed to a person's overall emotional and social functioning. And developing these components can lead to better personal and professional outcomes, particularly in roles that involves interacting with and understanding others, such as teaching. Next, ano ba yung mga role of emotional intelligence in teaching? Okay? So, sabi ko nga kanina, the EI is plays a critical role in effective teaching by enabling teachers to manage their own emotions, to understand and respond to students. Uh, Hindi lang sa students, but of course to students' emotion, and also build a positive classroom environment. So, ito yung mga components of emotional intelligence that contributes to teaching. Una-una is manage stress and emotion. Okay, so how do we manage stress and emotion? So pag kasi si teacher kasi, ang mga teachers often face high levels of stress. So hindi lang mga student, mga kapatid ang nai-stress, hindi lang ho kayo ang may karapatang ma-stress. Kami rin naman ay nai-stress din. Minsan due to the demands and challenges that we may encounter. Okay? So as a teacher, managing stress and emotion effectively is very crucial in maintaining a positive and productive classroom. Okay. So, kailangan si teacher, if he or she is a good manager sa kanyang stress and emotion, kailangan meron siyang self-awareness. So, pag sinabi natin self-awareness, si teacher, aware siya sa kanyang sariling emosyon. Nare-recognize niya kung kailan siya, kung when they are feeling stress, kung kailan siya na-overwhelm, okay? Kung kailan siya stress, kung kailan siya masaya, kung kailan siya super masaya, para makagawa siya ng step to address before it impacts their teaching. Okay, so, ah, madali lang akong masway ng iba kong kasama. Okay, tumataas ang emotion ko kapag meron akong nakikitang hindi maganda. Okay, so kailangan gumawa na ngayon siya ng hakbangin para ma-address niya bago pa man magkaroon ng malaking impact or problema when it comes to his or her teaching career. Next is self-regulation. Tingnan nyo ha, itong self-awareness, self-regulation, nandun sa mga core components natin ng ating EI. Okay, pag sinabi natin self-regulation, we can control our emotional responses. Okay, so as a teacher, we need to remain calm and composed kahit na sa pinaka-challenging situation na meron tayo na pwede nating ma-encounter sa tanan ng buhay natin. Okay? So, self-regulation may helps us in making rational decision and maintaining a positive demeanor in the classroom. Okay? Yan. And practical strategies. So, practical strategies, these are some examples of a practical strategies wherein we can, um, we can, um, conduct, okay, when mataas yung emosyon natin at mataas yung stress na experience natin. First is to practice mindfulness and stress reduction techniques. So kapag kayo, mga students, kapag kayo ay super stress na sa buhay at mataas na masyado yung emotion, anong ginagawa nyo? Okay. Nagra-rant kayo sa Facebook, nagpo-post ng kung ano-ano sa Facebook, ayun ba yung paraan ninyo? Ah, that's a big no-no. So, when we say practice mindfulness and stress reduction techniques, okay, ano yung ginagawa natin? Sometimes, yung iba nag-yoga, yung iba nag-meditate. Okay? Or sometimes, meron silang art na ginagawa para ma-relieve yung stress at saka yung taas ng kanilang emosyon. Okay. Some example of mindfulness activities and stress reduction techniques na meron tayo is yung breathing techniques or breathing exercises. Yung breathe in, inhale, tapos pause, exhale. Yung mga ganun bagay. Yung meditation, also yoga, meditation is also an example of mindfulness activity wherein we can relieve stress. Or yung doodle, paggawa ng doodle. Mm. O kaya yung mga ano nga painting, ganon. Practical strategies yun. Okay? Next is, take breaks when needed to recharge and refocus. So, uh, activity or may mga activity tayo or take a break kapag kinakailangan and mag-recharge and then refocus. Okay, sometimes, kailangan natin ng recreational activity or yung mga magpapasaya sa atin para ma-relieve yung stress natin and yung ating emotion. And then, seek support from colleagues and administrators. Sometimes, we need someone's advice, di ba? Kailangan natin ng um, mahihingahan, kailangan natin ng payo para sa mga mas matatanda sa atin or sa mga katrabaho natin na naka-experience ng the same experience and so on and so forth. And that is how we manage the stress. So, dapat we are aware sa ating sarili, we have self-control, and we have some strategies that can help us stress or we can help us mind our stress or reduce our stress. So, ito yung sinasabi ko kanina na group discussion activity. Okay, so in a small group, each member will share experiences where emotional intelligence was crucial as a student and discuss how they manage the situation and what they have learned. So, lahat kayo mag-share ng yung mga experiences na kung saan nasubok ang inyong mga emotional intelligence as a student. Okay. And, kailangan ninyong i-discuss kung paano niyo ito na-manage at kung ano yung na-learn ninyong lesson doon sa experience na yon. So, you need to have a video recording doon sa summary of your output. And, ang due date nito is on July 12, 2024, Friday. Okay. Okay, 11:59 p.m. Okay, that is for our group discussion activity. Okay. Next is yung people skill na tinatawag natin. Pag sinabi ba nating people skills, okay, ayan. Pag sinabi nating people skills, it refers to the ability to interact effectively with others. And this includes a range of interpersonal skills that help individuals communicate, collaborate, and build positive relationship with others in various social and professional settings. So, in short, yung people skills na tinatawag natin, ito yung tinatawag nating soft skills. Okay, so there are key components of people skills na meron tayo. So, unang-una, we have the communication. Sabi ko nga kanina, sa communication, there is a sender and there is a receiver and there is a medium. Okay? So, sa communication, meron tayong tinatawag na effective listening wherein we can pay attention or paying attention to what others are saying without interrupting and responding thoughtfully. So, ito yung sa mga communication skills na pwedeng uh, makuha ng isang individual. Okay? So, effective listening. And, um, meron siyang clear expression, okay? Wherein it convey or you can convey ideas and information clearly and concisely from both verbal and writing. And also through the use of body language, facial expressions and gestures to support and enhance verbal communication. Next is empathy. Paulit-ulit si empathy, ano? So, when we say empathy kasi, we can recognize and understand the feelings and perspective of others by means of demonstrating concern and support for others' well-being. Okay? Sabi ko nga, um, we need to experience what others experiences. Okay? Ayan. For us to be able to understand kung bakit sila ganun. Yan. And cooperation. So when we say cooperation, we can work or we are working collaboratively with others to achieve common goals. Okay. And aside from sa cooperation, dito na pumapasok yung conflict resolution wherein we can address and we can resolve disagreement in a constructive manner. And we are also open to new ideas and adapt to changes uh, in uh, changing circumstances and viewpoints. Di ba nga? Cooperation ang tawag doon. Social awareness. Pag sinabi naman nating social awareness, it is we can understand and respect cultural differences and diverse perspective. Okay, so alam natin we are aware sa pagkakaroon ng social dynamics. Okay, and we can respond to it appropriately. And sa relationship building, we can build trust, networking, and partnership. Okay, so dito naman sa relationship building. We can persuade, we can motivate others in a positive way. Okay, we can provide a network. Okay, and support. We can also provide support and opportunities to others. Okay, we are being reliable and honest, and so on and so forth. And that is relationship building. Bakit ba importante ang pagkakaroon ng people skills sa teaching profession? Unang-una, it is important in building relationship with students, parents, and colleagues. Okay, so dito muna tayo sa students. So, if people skills or itong soft skill is very important with student kasi we need to build a trust and rapport. Okay? So, kailangan kasi meron tayong makaka-create tayo ng safe and supportive learning environment na kung saan yung mga students, pakiramdam nila, they are valued and they are being understood. And also, um, we need to motivate them. Okay? So, kailangan natin ng motivation and engagement. So, we need to have a positive relationship with student wherein they can increase their motivation and engagement inside the classroom. And then individual support. Okay, so alam naman natin na every child or every student is meron silang unique needs and they also have unique challenges. Okay, so as a teacher, we need to provide personalized support and encouragement para makasabay pa rin sila sa ibang student. Okay. Pagdating naman sa mga parents, okay, so we need our people skill or yung soft skills natin pagdating din sa parents, sa mga parents. Bakit? Kasi 'di ba, hindi naman laging teacher or I mean student yung kausap natin. Nakakausap din natin minsan ang mga parents. So we need also to have a strong relationship with the parents for us to foster positive collaboration. Okay, we also need to communicate with them. So, kailangan magkaroon ng regular and open communication with the parents, lalo-lalo na sa School of Basic Education, 'di ba? Kaya nga sa pag meron tayong mga kapatid pa na elementary, may mga messenger group chat sila doon, 'di ba? Na kung saan doon na um, directly nakikipag-communicate si teacher doon sa parent. Okay, meron silang open communication. Pagdating naman sa mga colleagues natin, okay, kailangan natin ito for teamwork. Okay? Yung social people skills natin or yung soft skills na tinatawag natin is kailangan natin for teamwork para magkaroon tayo ng we can work collaboratively and we can share our ideas and strategies to enhance students' learning. Okay? And aside from teamwork, professional support is also kailangan din natin. Okay? So, hindi lang sa student kasi tayo dapat mag-build ng positive relationship, but we should also build positive relationship with our colleagues. And of course, pag meron tayong positive relationship, doon tayo we can provide support with our um, colleagues para or to contribute to our professional growth and well-being. Okay, so ano-ano ba? Aside from doon, we also have, it is, or people skill is also important in teaching profession when it comes to effective communication and conflict resolution. Okay? So, sa communication, when it comes to communication, dapat clear yung communication natin. Clear yung pagbibigay natin ng instruction. Clear yung pagbibigay natin ng expectation. And also, clear yung pagbibigay natin ng feedback sa ating mga students, sa parents, and either sa ating colleagues. Para mabawasan yung pagkakaroon ng misunderstanding. Yeah, and active listening. So, kailangan pa rin natin, we need to listen attentively to the students, to parents, to colleagues, and other people involved. Okay, pagdating naman sa conflict resolution, okay, so we need to identify issues first. Okay, ano-ano ba yung mga root causes ng conflicts? Okay? Between students to students, between students and teachers, or between teacher and parents. So we need to identify issues for us to be able to resolve conflict and disruption. And we also need to have mediating solutions. Okay, so paano ba? How can a teacher mediate disputes? Mga ganong bagay. And then lastly, people skill is important in terms of fostering a collaborative and supportive classroom environment. Okay, so we need to make sure that our classroom environment is inclusive. Okay, so we advertise inclusivity sa ating mga classroom wherein people skills enable teachers to create an inclusive classroom na kung saan yung mga students ay pakiramdam nila they are all respected and valued. And we should also promote diversity and equity. Pagdating naman sa collaboration, we need to, or all of us, the teacher, the parents, and the students, are encouraged to collaborate. Okay? Um, para sa kanilang group work, sa mga projects, okay, sa learning activities, sa mutual respect, and so on and so forth. And then, positive classroom culture. Yeah, so pag sinabi natin positive classroom culture, yun nga, we build supportive classroom culture na kung saan um, the students will feel safe to express themselves, okay, and to share their ideas, and so on and so forth. And then, emotional support. So, kailangan din natin, we need to address students' emotional needs. And we also need to contribute in a positive and supportive learning environment na kung saan the students were thrive academically and socially. Okay, so in short, people skills are essential for teachers as they influence their ability to build relationships, communicate effectively, resolve conflicts, and foster a positive classroom environment. By means of developing strong people skills, teachers can enhance the student engagement, motivation, and learning outcomes, while teacher also create a positive or supportive and collaborative community within the school. Okay, so that will be the end of our course discussion for today. And before we end, this is your quiz. So we have a case scenario analysis wherein you need to discuss and demonstrate appropriate people skills to handle each situation. So if you can open the canvas now, nandun yung quiz natin for today na kung saan there are uh, four sets of different situation and scenario. Kailangan ninyong i-discuss kung anong klase ng people skills ang dapat na taglayin ng isang teacher doon sa scenario na yon, at kailangan nyong i-demonstrate kung paano niya i-handle through that people skill, appropriate people skill. Okay, so that will be all, and thank you very much and have a nice day ahead. Bye bye. If you have any question, um, please feel free to send questions in our G chat. So, meron naman tayong G space chat doon. So, we should utilize our G space, okay, in uh, if you have any concerns. Okay, thank you very much and have a nice day ahead.